Yo, what's up everyone? Hopefully everyone can hear me. Having a good night. Enjoyed your July 4th weekend last week and probably taking some extended vacation. Thanks for joining. Flying solo for now. Matt might join a little bit later. Not quite sure. Waiting for the text. But we'll see. Nevertheless, we're going to go ahead and carry on. We're going to have footage from yesterday, which was the 13th, Saturday. So let's get right to it. Can I get a sound check? Everybody hear me okay? Or am I talking to nothing? Because both would be fun. We'll just go with it. We'll just go with it. Alright, so starting us off, we have Jordan and Mitchell. Mitchell getting knocked down, getting right back up. What's up, James? What's up, Coop? What's up, Cole? Figured you'd be traveling today. I gotta figure out how to operate this thing again. It's been so long since I've been at mission control. Joe and Joe. The Joes are at it. And then me and Nick, I believe is his name right here. Newbie, well, not newbie to jiu-jitsu, but a newbie to the school. A few years, 4 maybe 4 years experience or so. Then we've got Aries and Matt joining in the fray. I didn't see how. So I know Mitchell pulled guard. We've got quick stepping, trying to get around the guard quickly by Jordan here. Stuck in the half guard. But Mitchell's playing this butterfly half. Well, is he? Or no, he's got a collapsed low knee shield. So this is not looking good for Mitchell. Stepping right over into mount is Jordan. Very nice. Nicely done. Mitchell, not sure if you're a watcher of the stream anymore, but that was not good. So here your knee is very much collapsed here. Okay, really not a good spot at all. If you're gonna play this butterfly half, or if you're gonna play a knee shield at all, first of all, knee shield with your foot on the outside hip. Knee has to be either at the near side shoulder or the cross side shoulder. At the very least, a low knee shield is going to play across the hip line. So this is very, very much collapsed. You probably already know it, and I'm probably pointing out the obvious, but yeah. So we got Baker in on, well, he's looking to try and set up maybe an arm drag, and Joe, Tall Joe is not having it. Aries goes in for a shot in the top and gets stuffed by Jameson. We got Jason and Alex. We got Steven and with a nice little Uchimata on Cooper real quick. I'll look away for 1 second. We got really nice chair sit back take from Jordan. So Jordan, you may know this as well, maybe stating the obvious, but you didn't get a big pull. I really want you, when you do this chair sit back take, I really want you to think about getting, since you already have this hook in, your top hook or your left leg in as a hook, this is already set. What I need you to focus on is getting to the side where you already have the hook. So you'd be pulling Mitchell over top of you. Good. You have a good upper body connection, which I think is why you don't lose this. But your right foot is trapped underneath Mitchell. So you sneak it out and you kind of ride cross-side on this. And as Mitchell goes to face away from you, he actually makes a mistake and squares himself up with you, which is what you want, not what he wants. Okay, but then Mitchell course corrects and winds up getting into the mount. Jordan, are you on here? I don't know what just happened there, but it kind of looked like a Katagatame. Maybe it's a Katagatame. I don't know. Hard to see. Joe Baker in on an Udagatame. Let's see if I can zoom in. I do like the zoom feature of this this video player. So Joe is in a very strong, what we call clamp guard position, to where he's got his thigh over top of the shoulder, and he's pinching his knees together. So his right knee is collapsing down on the shoulder. His left knee, you can see that it's hooking in the armpit here, and it's actually pinching. His two knees are pinching together, and from here he's able to get a really good bite on the elbow, and he's actually using his shoulder. Normally, we like to see the arm towards the head or on the neck in order to get the finish for the Udagatame. But nevertheless, it looks like this works just fine. Plenty of negative space there in order to get the break, so that's good. Everybody resetting, even Jameson and Aries stand back up. I'm still on bottom, feeling out Nick here. Looks like Mitchell decides to pull guard again. Oh no, it was a snap. A big snap from Jordan, but not really a snap. It was more of like a level change, and a heavy collar tie brought Mitchell down into a guard. Aries is in on a guillotine here, and let's take a look at what Jameson is doing to prevent this. So Jameson goes in for a double leg, stays on it, and I'm going to pause it right here because Jameson's doing a really good job of preventing the guillotine. And so in this position, the guillotine is the finish for the guillotine is really, you'll see number one, it's going to be Aries' right elbow is going to connect to his right hip. Okay. And you'll see, so Jameson's already a crossbody here, so it's a moot point. It is a moot point. I'll just shut up. He's really trying to connect his elbow to his hip, and Matt has already gotten across his legs. In order for an effective guillotine, Aries is going to have at least one leg trapped. So he would have to split the legs of Jameson here and trap probably the left leg in this case. If he gets a full guard, or even just a full guard, would be a very, very strong strangle. But here he has nothing. He really should be thinking about letting go. So Matt is calmly walking up, putting shoulder pressure into the throat and into the chin, trying to go for a possibly a Von Flue choke. Doesn't really look like he's trying to go for the strangle. He's actually just trying to get to that wrist so that he could strip off the strangle pressure from Aries. I wound up having a sweep here on Nick. I hope I'm getting the name right. Really leading up to this, he was pressuring very heavy into my knee shield and coming along this side. And then I take an overhook grip with my right arm on top of his left arm here. And then as he's pressuring into me, I just go with it, right? And lift. And then now you'll see that I use my right foot to plant on the mat in order to drive my hips up. Your one and only match of the night. What's up, Joe? We just talking about your Udegatame here on Taljo. More than likely, if I had to guess, Cole, if I don't see you here on the mats and you're not sitting over here in timeout, yeah, you're probably in the bathroom. Little go behind here from Joe and on Baker, and I'm not quite sure. Whoa, that was a slick arm drag. That was a straight 2-on-1 arm drag. I'm gonna slow it down just to watch. All right, so hoagie grip here, as we like to call it at our school, a 2-on-1 grip on the wrist here from Tall Joe to Baker, and just golf swinging it right, maybe baseball swing, all the way through. Catch in the back. That was nice. And then Baker trying to roll through to get some sort of guard back and fall right into that side control. That was a vicious arm drag, to say the least. Yes, yes. Very good. So, Tall Joe now on the back. I'm using a little... well, there's too much going on right now. I'll call out some of the high stepping. Joe, you and I were talking a little bit about the high stepping today. Go back, scissor choke Mitchell. Okay. Oh, yes, I see. I will go to where you set it up. All right. Okay, so you're pushing down on the neck. Looks like you're going to try and step over with that left leg. You do. Here, I'll zoom in on you guys. Now it looks like you're attacking like a Kimura with the left arm, but Mitchell's trying to run interference with his leg here. I got a feeling that it's not going to really impede your ability to get to that grip. But, well, you know what? I'll say this. Mitchell's doing a really good job of, as he's throwing his leg up, he's actually grabbing the inside of his thigh. So it is giving you a little bit of problems to where you can't get the Kimura grip here. But Mitchell's not comfortable, for sure. Reaches over the back. He's not in threat of the Kimura. Oh. Okay. So it kind of was his own undoing here, which was holding on to this over the back grip. I feel like if Mitchell were to pummel his hands underneath your hips, I feel like he probably could have gotten out. But nonetheless, good finish there, Jordan. Really nice. So Joe, on the use of the high stepping, you can see me doing that over here. Flying squirrel catches a nut every now and again. So I'm taking... I know that Nick here, he really was favoring an outside of De La Riva type of a hook here. And you can see that he's grabbing my left ankle with his right hand. So what I'm going to try to do is force him into a reverse De La Riva. So I'm going to try and put his left leg in between mine, and I'm going to try and step over top there. Now, as soon as I step over top, notice that he's got pressure on my knee, and he's keeping distance to where I didn't get my my right foot where I want it, which is against the left hip. And you know, at this point, it's okay. I'm just gonna start pushing on his knees and his legs to get him away, and I'm gonna start high stepping to go around and see if I can get him to move, which I did. And now he's going to turtle up, and I'm past the guard into a modified mount. So more of an opportunistic way of doing the high step passing. If he were very diligent about wrestling up, it would have been a different story, right? Like I was open to get wrestled up on, if I don't know if that's the right way to say it or not, but he could have wrestled up on me. But then again, going back, Joe, to what we were talking about earlier today, my preferred method is to go to north-south from here to lock down the hips and the shoulders, and start looking for openings. Joe is really going after the strangle here. Aries is actually really impressing me with his pressure on Matt over here on the left-hand side. Matt looks to be... Oops. I don't know what just happened. I think he's in a lockdown here. Yep. And Matt is doing Matt things, right? So I really like what Matt just did. This is a good example of using a lockdown to actually do something, instead of just using a lockdown to prevent any sort of progression from your partner. Matt's actually using it to score his underhook. So Matt's on his, he's flat on his back. He's really not in a great spot here. But he has Aries' right leg, and he has that leg wrapped with his legs, right? And he's got him in that lockdown. Well, Matt really needs to get to his right hip to be effective with a half guard in general, to get into an attacking position. You can go into like more crossbody moves like the electric chair and get the sweep, or even the electric chair finish from there. Let's ignore that for now, okay? What Matt's trying to do is score his left side underhook, so that way he can fight up and either go for a back take or reverse the position. So he's using a lot of side to side motion here. So look, Aries has an underhook on this side. Great for Aries, bad for Jameson. So Matt's really struggling here. So you'll see him starting to move and use his legs. He actually didn't use his legs to score the underhook like I originally thought, but once he got the underhook, he uses his legs to move Aries' hips around, so that way he can be a little bit more mobile and come up into a fighting position. More of a subtle detail, I would say, to the half guard, but this is a good half guard player. That's the sign of a good half guard player. Meanwhile, Tall Joe is putting it to Baker here in mount. I've been in Tall Joe's mount, and it is not fun at all. Looking over here at Jason getting the straight arm here on Alex. Possibly, maybe that was an Americana actually. Good job from Jason. Dude, it's miserable, right? You guys have to stop getting good. Nick had a really good back take on me. I was not expecting the quickness that he gave me here. So I was trying to be cheeky with some guard passing, and I got caught in an X guard, right? So this is a regular X guard. Nick's doing a good job. He's grabbing my thigh and the top of my knee, right? And putting a little bit of pressure. Honestly, Nick, I don't know if you watch the stream or not. Just a tip, especially with your length relative to mine. I don't want to, but I'd like to see you extending your legs away to really get my right leg way out there, right? And like spread my legs apart. It makes me very, very off balance, and it puts my hands on the mat, which is exactly where you want them. This works out for you nonetheless, okay? But so you're giving me that was the extension that I'm looking for, right? A little bit more would be good. But here you're gonna switch. Yeah, you were reaching for that ankle, and I didn't know what you were gonna go for there. But you switch back and you start dragging the leg back. Cole, you were asking Luke about this yesterday, about like what to do in this case, and Nick does a pretty good job here of doing it. I would like to see like my ankle over top of the shoulder, but basically he's keeping a grip on the back of my knee and trying to pull me down, and he's doing it pretty effectively. I thought I was going to get my back taken right there, but then I got really lazy. And he comes right up to take my back. So good on Nick for recognizing me being in a really crappy spot. Or putting me in a really crappy spot, rather. Alright, next round. We got Danny and Cole. Vicious. Big sweep from Cole on Danny. Danny really didn't like that. Oof. That was a nice sweep from Danny. Good recovery from Cole. Just wing sweep galore over there. Steven trying to jump on the head there of Baker. Who, me? Joe with Steven. We've got Alex and Jameson. We've got Nick and Luke. Myself and Jason. Looks like we've got Mitchell and somebody at the top of the screen. I can't quite see. If you guys see anything... Oh, tell him Cole he's good. I'll just tell him he was still in the bathroom. How about that? He's not really training. Oh, nice knee bar from Steven. So let's zoom in on this one. So Steven goes, he has his, it looks like his right arm is scooping the leg. Uses a big pendulum sweep with that left leg, driving down, or getting Joe lifted up, putting him down, grabbing the leg. Joe gets a quick tap. I don't know if that's your good leg or not good leg. Either way, smart. Yeah, I think that's smart. Nothing wrong with that at all. Oof. And all right, let's check this out. Really nice electric chair from Danny. Try not to compliment him too often. Gets to his head. All right, so Danny's got the lockdown. He's posting on Cole's left or right arm here with his left hand. On his left arm, I have to assume has an underhook on Cole's left side. So now we should probably see Danny. Oh, okay. So I lie. He does have an underhook, but he's actually scooping the other leg of Cole. He's pushing, and now he's getting double underhooks on that side, and he's isolating the two legs from the hips. And from here, Danny's extending the legs away, which is going to make Cole, he's going to have to give up his base with his right side here. Okay, so now you can see that Cole is slowly collapsing down to his right shoulder, and now Danny is able to just get up to his elbow. So let's see how Danny decides to finish this. All right, so that's where the mess, so Danny could have finished the submission from here if maybe they had a gentleman's agreement and he was just going to get up to the top. But let's go back here and dive in. So the way to finish this electric chair is to make a grip with your hands. You connect your hands together over top of the thigh, right? And you're gonna pin the person's shin right below the knee to your ear. And from here, you're gonna get up onto this left elbow and you're gonna post, okay? Now, driving with your head going into the knee and in like the lower part of the leg, and driving your arms down towards the mat and extending your lower body away, you get a really nasty electric chair. Some people call it like a banana split. What's up, Deathcore? It could be a really nasty submission. And I would say that it does often turn itself into a sweep if your partner gets this leg over top of your head. And Danny sneaks his head out right here and assumes top position instead. So some of the high stepping here on Jason, just to kind of highlight some of the stuff. You can see that my left leg, Joe, I'm kind of speaking directly to you because you're the one who's really trying to... Right? Yeah, Deathcore, totally. If somebody who's tall gets you in it, it just stretches out your groin nasty. It can be bad. Joe, I'm kind of talking to you here. You notice that I'm splitting Jason's legs and immediately stepping around. I'm trying to get my right foot as close to his hip as possible. And Jason's just not letting me do that. You could see this hand on my knee. Now, with his hand on my knee, you can also see that he's not terribly interested in wrestling up on me. Okay, so it becomes less important for me to get that that foot engaged. What he is interested in is getting his knee in front of me, and so I'm using my right arm to post on his left knee and pushing it away like a standard Toreando pass, and then sinking down into position. Yeah, Coop, you should definitely look at the electric chair. And I don't think that it would be considered... I don't know if it's considered a... what type of submission competitions would consider that, to be honest with you. I've never seen like anything like that called out specifically. Or the electric chair specifically called out. Jameson with the strangle on Alex. He's a wizard at the back game here, especially in our school. Calm and calculated is Matt on the back. Do they call that out specifically, Coop? A groin stretch? So that was a really slick. So a lot of times people have a difficult time maintaining back control. Watch what Jameson does here in order to get the back. So Alex is doing a really good job of misaligning his spine with Matt's, to where Matt can't really get a good grip on him, and it kind of errors here, and Alex forces the error of getting both of his arms in a like in a strangle position. And he winds up forcing Matt to chase him to the top. So, From here, Matt's making sure that he's staying very, very heavy on the elbow, not allowing his left elbow, Alex's left elbow, to get across Matt's midline. From here, he's turning him back over. He uses a gift wrap, and then he goes into that chair sit back take that we talk about. Left leg with a long hook going all the way across the body, pulling Alex right on top of him to a very clean back take. And Matt likes to cross his ankles. The reason he does this is because it's above the hips. If your ankles are crossed below the hips, it puts you in danger for people to come in and attempt to do like a lower body submission, to employ their legs in order to straighten your ankles out, or even to give you like heel hooking pressure. Jameson's not normally worried about that because he can cross his legs above your hip line and still maintain really good control of you. And if somebody does try to reach their legs up, he can always pummel his feet into a good position. So now from here, Jameson's got double strangles. He's going in, immediately trying to throw the left arm in. His left arm in for the strangle. He's disrupting with his right leg to try and get Alex's right arm trapped. And by the time Alex can get rid of that hook, Jameson sinks the strangle in even deeper. Luke in on a reverse or a rear triangle on Nick. Let's see how he got there. Probably from the Kimura trap. He really likes this. So, I'm kind of making a bet here. So you can see that Luke's right hand is on the left arm, the left wrist of Nick. So this is, now he's going to go over top with his left arm and go right over top of the shoulder for a deep Kimura attempt, okay? Now, as Nick is falling down, Luke likes to throw a couple of different looks at you. Since Luke's neck is already kind of in this weird, awkward spot, turned to this side, he's just going to jump over the body and immediately go to take the back. Now, in doing so, his right leg is going over top of the right shoulder. This is important. If it goes behind the shoulder, then he can take the back, but he doesn't have a strangle attempt. Here, he's got the shin all the way across his calf, actually, all the way across the neck as he continues to roll through. Now he's got a really nasty triangle. Now, if you're not getting the triangle pressure, he probably has a little bit of a gap here in between the right side of Nick's neck and the crease of Luke's right knee. So with that gap, you can still put a tremendous amount of shoulder pressure from underneath here with the ankle and then pulling at the elbow. There. Boom. Solid finish. Really nice. And then we've got quick tap from Joe. Again, Joe, that is smart of you to do this. Steven throwing in almost a reap with his right leg. Very nice trap. I don't know how he entered into the legs here. Oh, now I do. He's just going to pull straight into the legs. Catches the heel. Quick tap from Joe on an injured leg. Smart man. I applaud your awareness, Joseph. I really do. Now Joe in on a leg lock of his own. I think he wound up getting tapping to the toe hold, but nevertheless, really good entry here. I'll be honest with you, I'm not. Yeah. No, never. No, I was taught by Luke. Okay, Luke can say all he wants about people not tapping. I learned it from him. So this is a really good entry. I I'll be honest with you, I can't keep up with all of the alphabet guards, whether it's K guard or Z guard or whatever the guards are. Either way, this looks to me as just an inversion on the right leg, and throwing in a very strong right leg over top of the hamstring on the outside, going in for what looks to be a very good start of a knee bar. Now, I do know that Steven grabbed this toe hold, and this also looks very strong. Your foot is very close to your butt, which indicates a strong toe hold, and I just know that Steven has also very strong toe holds. So I think that's what got the finish there. Called him names. I call Steven names all the time. Friggin', he's 2 belts lower than me. He takes copious amounts of times off, and then he comes in and wrecks us all. So, yeah, I've got names for him. Danny's spending a good amount of time on top, at least from when I've been looking over here at Danny and Cole. You guys got to help me. I really am having a hard time keeping up with all of the different matches we have going on here. Steven in a dorsal Kimura. He's going over for the armbar. So Joe, I like what you're doing with this guarding. Well, okay. So Steven's got an interesting leg configuration. I'll have to think about. I'm just gonna shut up, because I don't know how I would handle the that leg configuration that he had going. I would have to think about that. Oh, so now Cole got back up on top. How did Cole get on top? Oh, I see it. Typical Cole. The Moosel sweep. Oh, Jameson almost had a really nice foot sweep on Alex. Alex is always game to stand. I really do appreciate that about him. Very nice Sasai from Jameson. He hits these almost effortlessly. So, big overarm pull. And maybe this is a Hizaguruma? I don't know. I'm not sure whether it's a Hizaguruma or a Sasai. But he's pulling with the overhook side, and he's pushing the hand in. Ooh, what just happened? Pushing the Alex's right hand into his belly, and he's using his right foot to just tap the shin. I'd call this more of a Sasai. Anyway, he hits it really nicely. It just disrupts Alex enough to put him on his butt. Steven looking for that guillotine. Really nice. Oh. When he gets on those guillotines. He got me the last time we trained too. Looks like you held out, Joe. All right. Lots of dancing going on. How did Coop? How did you go down? Ah. So speaking of foot sweeps here, Jameson hitting another good one. So trying to do that push-pull here and hit Dayashi. But noticing that Coop is leaving his right leg forward. So instead opting to go to the other side. Same exact foot sweep that he was attempting on the on his right side, he winds up getting it on his left. And that's because Cooper was leading with that leg. Did Jason just push Danny down? Yes. That's what I like to see. I really just like to see just Jason's like, you know what? I don't think you should be standing anymore. I'm just going to throw your ass down to the mat. That's what he does. Get down. I should try that. Me and Aries. Got Luke and Joe. Oh, we've got Steven and Nick. Then we've got Baker and Ben. Yeah, get on the ground, dirtbag. Yeah. So, interesting leg position. I don't know, Jason, if you watch the stream or not. But I will say that this particular leg configuration, unless I'm way off, it looks like you are either you're in like almost mount, and Danny is using his top knee to disrupt, this left leg. That's okay, because if you take a step back with this left leg, you're all the way around Danny's body. So, maybe you recognize that. Yep, there it was, right? Like you kind of recognized it and you tried to take that big step back. Instead of throwing your legs back, I want to see you using your shins to pin the legs down. So I call it like a windshield wiper, right? You keep your right leg where it is, you use your left leg, you keep your knee on the mat, and then you take this foot and you pin the shin of Danny, his left shin. Then from there, you can start moving this right leg out of the way, and you can start sliding your knee back to this side of Danny's body. But this big movement gives Danny the ability to get his sticky hook in, keeping his knee up. It can cause you problems, and that gives him the regard ability. All right, Steven in on a triangle. Don't know how he got there. Oh, so Nick just kind of hugs the leg, and he's going to be going for an over-under style pass. The problem is that he does not have control over Steven's left hip. So Steven gets his leg out. Okay, so Nick probably thought that he had the leg trapped in between. Steven gave a little bit of a wiggle, freed his left leg, and locks up this triangle. Very nice. Very nice. Matt's on a rear triangle, like a reverse rear triangle of his own on Cooper. Looks like he's going pretty light on it. Yeah. Not going for the finish. We got Joe in on the armbar on Ben. How'd you get there? This is gonna be the longest stream in history. I'm only on like the third round. Third round. Alright. So, looking at Joe and Ben. So, putting the old Kimura trap to work here into dorsal. And then Ben is trying to really turtle up and prevent it. And Joe dives down, belly down, gets him to roll through, gets Ben to roll through. And then Joe, I hope you know that this here with your hand just wrist deep on the elbow is not as good as I would like to see it. I want to see you going elbow to elbow when you're attacking the yep. Thank you, Deathcore. I want to see you going elbow deep for this armbar. So you got lucky here. You switch your grip. And I do like how you're going through to break the grip here, but you can still tell that your right elbow is not as deep as I would like. But going there, good. Now, the thing is, and I can go on for hours on arm bars, right? But when you go elbow deep, elbow to elbow, you should be able to hold your elbow all the way through the finish. Like, I know we talk a lot about the directionality of the thumb, right? Pointing up or against the break. Anywhere that the point of the thumb goes, the elbow points in the opposite direction, right? So you can always break according to the position of the thumb, opposite of the position of the thumb. When you go elbow deep, I find that I use that elbow to trap the arm, and I can use my other arm or my other hand to create the direction with the thumb. And Joe in on a quick triangle as well. Very nice. Well done. Speaking of triangles, Luke has been really digging the wrong way triangle. He's trying to look actually for a pendulum sweep there. That was nice. Ares was like, he was in on this like octopus guard, and he erred right there. He should have continued through. I really liked what he was doing. Well, I hated it at the time because I was like, damn, he shouldn't be able to do this on me. But I really like what he's doing, right? Like, so he comes up, he gets double underhooks with his right side. He grabs my hips and locks my hips down, right? Then he transitions to my knee, my right knee. And so I'm posting out. I'm trying to get my hips away, but I can't because he's locked in on my knee. Now, this is where he messes up. So again, great positioning here. I come up and I actually do the same thing. I opt to go for his far leg instead of his near leg. And when he feels that, instead of continuing the drive to go around the body this way, he reaches back with his left arm. And when he reaches back with his left arm, he gives me the pin. Right there. Awesome chase down. I really like that get up that Ares did. It was just that one little thing that gave me the top position. But awesome job, Ares. Man, so much. What did Danny just do? Quick shoulder crunch on Jason. Yeah, a lot going on. Steven in on the guillotine, but Nick isn't having it. Nick is in on a in deep half here. Nick came from a gi school, primarily training in the gi, not so much no gi, but I would say he's got very good potential for training no gi exclusively. Great training partner. His gi game translates, I would say, his top game especially. What did I get Ares with at the very end? Oh, that's right. So Ares, after staying on bottom, I think I transitioned to a Komora, and then I was trying to figure out how I was gonna get to a finish on him. Quick step around the guard. A lot of times we make this really complicated, and we don't have to. So check out this really quick hip switch that I gave. So Ares is playing this butterfly, but his foot is actually across my hip. All right, I'm not even going to bother with my knee at this point. I'm just going to give him a straight push with my left arm on top of his knee. So I'm going to pop my hips up and cut around. Really simple. Doesn't have to be complicated. So now I wind up being able to trap his arm with my head on the far side of the body. It's putting a lot of shoulder pressure on him. And then instead of going straight into a mount, I just go over the top. I feel him resisting, and then I just collapse on top of his legs and ride on top of his legs. So I don't actually get into a full mount. I wind up in this like pseudo mount position in order to get the finish on that strangle. All right, so we got Jameson and Nick. I think I'm gonna get Mitchell. We've got Joe and Luke. Danny and Ares. I said Jameson and Nick, right? I really hope his name's Nick, because that's what I was calling him today. And that's what I've been calling him all night. So if it's not, and you're watching, Nick, please let me know. Awesome. Thanks, Joe. A lot going on. Let's see. Joe, I know you're watching. It is now. Yes, I know you're watching. If anything cool happens with you and Luke, let me know. I'll try and keep an eye out. Thanks, Deathcore. Yeah, we do try to make it a point to do that when it's safe, right? I can see the argument one way or the other. I really can. And trust me, like I'm guilty. I'm as guilty as the dirty guard puller out there, right? Like, if my knees aren't feeling it, or if my back's not feeling it, if I'm not feeling it, I'm sitting guard. But if I'm feeling good enough, I'm standing. That's, I think that's how we all kind of play the game, is if we are able-bodied enough, we'll stand. If an ailment or some sort of injury or something is prohibitive, then we'll do that. Oh, let's check it out. I was rambling. Yeah, that was a nice double. He just ran through and just picked your legs up, drove his shoulder into your belly, and dumped you down. I really like what Jameson just did. That was really slick. Oh, let's see how we got the finish on this one. Alright, so Jameson looking for the octopus guard here. Okay, and then they reset. Okay, alright. I thought for some reason there was something else going on, but let's check this out quick. I really like what he did. So big arm drag, really love that. You know, there's definitely a weight difference here between Jameson and Nick. Me and Jameson have actually been talking about this very arm drag. So it's a really interesting one, right? Like, because normally what we would say is that whichever side our butterfly hook is on, we're gonna arm drag across that butterfly hook. So in this case, you would almost think that Jameson would be going for the left arm to try and drag it across his body, so that way he can come up onto to his left. But the problem is that Nick is very much posting on Jameson here with his left arm. So the likelihood of you pulling off this arm drag is not very, but the right arm is available. So Jameson's securing the wrist grip. He's got a collar tie. Okay, so he's giving a little bit of distance here. And the reason is because he wants to sneak his right arm under and catch that arm drag. So I'll slow it down so you can see him do that pass off. Pulling, extending, so he turned that butterfly hook into a push leg with his right leg, pushing the left leg of Nick away. Nick recovers here. But when he does, Jameson hikes his left leg up very, very high. And what he's also going to do is he's going to switch from that arm drag grip, and he's going to come into almost like a shoulder crunch position, or a shoulder crunch. Right? Going under, for like a pendulum sweep, no pendulum sweep, and shoulder. Right there. Now, extending away from the body, hiking up very, very high, turning to his left for a strong break for the Udegatame. That was a slick finish from Matthew. Tell you, Mitchell, oh yeah, Mitchell was in on that strangle big time. That guillotine, and just gave up on it. Look at this. So he grabs my head. This is tight. His left knee is in front of my shoulder. His right leg is around my body. This was strong. Now, all Mitchell needed to do, because he has the close guard locked up, is give a crunch down to his left-hand side. And I would have been gasping for air for sure. And he just gave up on it. I coached him through it after the roll, but that is a opportune time. If you're under somebody's chin in close guard, you should be going for guillotines all day. Really nice. Almost like an elevator sweep, some would call it. It's a sumigashi, really, from Jameson here. I really like how he got a double unders position on the far arm. So check this out. It's an interesting grip you don't see. I don't call this very common. So Jameson uses the right hand to grab the left wrist of Nick here, and then you're going to see his left arm sneak through. You can see it already peeking through the tricep. And he's just going to hug it nice and close across the body. And all that's doing is taking this post away from Nick. So now Jameson's probably going to post with his right knee on, or right leg on the mat, maybe even his knee, and elevate with a left hook. Right here. And takes him over. Solid sweep. That was awesome. Very nice, very nice. I'm just like lumbering into Mitchell's guard here. Mitchell's gonna try and break my leg for the next minute and a half. Oh yeah, and then Mitchell comes in and goes into the cross ashi. I wanted to see what he was going to do with it. Notice that every time anybody who's not really like inundated in the leg game, while straight ankles and such, I wind up letting them go and not taking taking damage on the straight ankles and whatnot. You'll notice that I don't really take damage on heel hooks, and a lot of it is because of my I think it's because of my hip positioning is kind of what I've discerned, at least. So notice that every time that Mitchell's trying to go to expose my heel, he has a very difficult time getting me to the proper hip. So I'm being very diligent. He's attacking an inside heel hook is what he wants on my left leg, right? So he wants this heel right here, so the foot that he's got the toes, he wants to expose the heel on that foot. And the way that I'm going to prevent that from happening is by staying on my right hip. Anytime I leave my right hip, I'm in danger of exposing my heel. So when he takes his leg over to that side of the body, my heel is 100% safe, and now I'm in full attack mode. I can go straight in for the straight ankle. There we go. That was a good roll, or a good match. So we've got Cole and Jason. We've got Steven and Luke. Jameson's looking for a dance partner. He finds Joe. And I think I'm left. Yeah, I think I had to take this round off. Nobody trained. Maybe I trained with Nick later. I can't remember. This is a good takedown from Jason. Again, just get the hell on the ground, dirtbag. So